everything you know about the wise old god is wrong. Odin wasn't a benevolent father figure. He was a deity who gouged out his own eye and hung himself from a tree for 9 days, pierced by his own spear, just to gain knowledge. This is the story of a god who chose mutilation over comfort, who embraced chaos over honor, and who would sacrifice literally anything, including himself, to understand the mysteries of the cosmos. And what he discovered, it will haunt you. To understand Odin is to grasp contradiction itself. He sits enthroned in glittering Asgard as king of the gods, yet spends endless nights wandering alone through frozen wastes. He grants victory to kings, yet extends his hand to outcasts and murderers. The historian Adam of Bremen called him simply the Furious, and in that fury lies both his power and his terror. For Odin's inspiration isn't gentle. It's the raw, uncontrolled force that drives warriors to frenzy and seekers into darkness. What sets Odin apart from every other wisdom seeker in mythology is simple. He demands sacrifice from himself. The most visible mark of his obsession hangs empty in his skull, the socket where his right eye once sat. He traded it to the giant Mimir for a single draught from the well of cosmic wisdom. But that was just the beginning. In an act that mirrors shamanic death rituals, Odin hung himself from the world tree Yggdrasil, pierced by his own spear, suspended between 9 realms for 9 days without food or drink. Through death's threshold he passed, not to die, but to seize the runes themselves. Living forces, secrets of creation and destruction. Here's where it gets disturbing. Odin practiced satyr, prophetic magic associated with spinning fate's threads. In Viking culture, this was deemed effeminate, woman's work. The historian Saxo Grammaticus records that Odin was actually banished from Asgard for 10 years because his fellow gods couldn't bear the scandal of his stage tricks. But Odin cared nothing for shame. His 8-legged horse Sleipnir carries him across dimensions. His ravens Hugin and Munin, thought and memory, fly daily through all worlds, whispering secrets in his ears. These aren't pets. They're extensions of his fragmented self, enabling his perpetual dissociation from ordinary consciousness. Modern depictions sanitize Odin as a noble commander. The sources reveal something darker. Unlike Tyr, god of honorable combat, or Thor the straightforward protector, Odin delights in battle's chaos itself. He incites peaceful folk to slaughter with what can only be called sinister glee. The berserkers, warriors who worked themselves into ecstatic, animalistic fury, claimed his patronage. These weren't disciplined soldiers. They were possessed beings, channeling the same divine madness that defined their god. Through ritual identification with wolves and bears, they achieved temporary dissolution of human boundaries. Odin doesn't bless indiscriminately. His favor falls upon the exceptional, the cunning, the ruthless, whether they sit on thrones or hide in wilderness exile. Roman observers identified Odin with Mercury, not Mars. They recognized that his dominion over death outweighed even war. As psychopomp, guide of souls between worlds, he commands forces more fundamental than battlefield victory. Valhalla receives half those slain in combat, chosen by his Valkyries. The other half go to Freya, suggesting Odin's realm isn't simple reward, but continued service in his cosmic army. Because he knows what few admit, Ragnarok approaches, the final battle. He must face the wolf Fenrir, and even the Allfather cannot escape death. This knowledge drives his relentless recruitment. He practices necromancy, speaking with corpses. He receives human sacrifice by spear and noose, methods echoing his own self-sacrifice on Yggdrasil. One of his countless names is Allfather, ancestor of royal lines across northern Europe. Yet he's simultaneously Aesir, Vanir, and giant. His mother Bisla was among the primordial frost giants. His nature transcends any single category. An old Norse poem identifies him with Earned itself, the breath of life. This is the deepest key to his mystery. Where Thor manifests in thunder's overwhelming power, Odin moves through inspiration, that invisible force animating speech, poetry, battle fury, and magical trance. Without his vivifying presence, existence would remain inert matter. The Norse understood their gods as vital forces holding reality together. If this is so, then Odin is the vital force of vital forces, the ecstatic current running beneath all specific manifestations. His ceaseless wandering, his self-mutilation in pursuit of wisdom, his indifference to conventional morality, all express an absolute commitment to consciousness expansion, to pushing beyond every boundary, however sacred. To follow Odin is to embrace transformation without guarantee of safety, to value knowledge above comfort, to recognize that the most profound mysteries often wear terrifying faces. In the midnight halls of Asgard, where the one-eyed god waits between his wanderings, the fire never dies, but neither do the shadows ever fully retreat. This is Odin, not the sanitized wise king of modern retellings, but the furious, ecstatic, terrifying seeker who would rather be blind than ignorant, rather be dead than ordinary, and who knows that wisdom demands everything you have. If this glimpse into Odin's dark realm left you wanting more, subscribe to Mythorica. We dive deep into mythology, dark history, and the unexplained every week. Which sacrifice shocked you most, the eye or the hanging? Drop a comment below. And remember, some knowledge comes only through transformation. The question is, are you willing to pay the price?